Cold Heart is alive. I'm back at you. Right now, as you see on the screen, we have a vocal widener effect pumper. It's kind of like the pumping part is more like an ad lib, a perfectly timed ad lib. I'm gonna break it down for you. We're gonna try and fit a lot in a short time. So let's go. Next, over here we have this little situation where we're running a staccato brass into a Neptune and letting it pitch correct it and playing around with some of the Neptune's factors. On the drums, on the kick, we have this compressor right here. And on the snare, we have another one of my compressors. Oh, no, we have an old school saturated EQ, followed by old school SSL type old school compressor that I created. Let's go over to the mixer. On the mixer will be the beginning of where we're actually talking about, which is the way a workflow with the mixer. Now, if you start your mix up like this right here, I like in my template, that's all I gotta say. You'll pretty much be right on the money, because what you want to do is up here you want to control your gain. When you put your instruments in, you'll go right to your mixer and play with your gain. Before you'll play with your fader, that's your fine tuning. The gain is how you get it near about where it want to do, so you'll have a better, as I explained one time before, if you notice the numbers, you're going from 10, from 0 dB, 10, 20, 40. So when you get down in here, look at how small that factor is. It's impossible to really get fine tuning. So that's why you want to adjust it in the gain first. Alright, because that's where it hits the board first. So get the signal nice and hot before you have to go tinkling with your fader down. Secondary workflow issue is, if you haven't noticed right here, I use this a lot because I like to EQ then compress. That's all that is. Click that button, EQ and compress. So if you're not actually compressing on that with the compressor off the SSL right here, there's no point in putting this in. I don't really use inserts too often. I insert it myself in by patching. Okay, so once you got that done, you threw a little compressor on what you want to compress from the board. Then you'll pop up your EQ section, and then you'll just start EQing. You see what I'm saying? And it's just that way. And I'll do a little EQing if that's what I'm up to. And then next, I very rarely use this. It just takes some space for me pretty much, so I keep it down all the time. When I get to my effects, I throw my effects up. And so that's my board that I work with pretty much all the time, which has just what I need on it. The next thing we'll talk about are your filters. I was trying to set up a way to show you how it would sound without the filters and with it, but it's just going to be too difficult. I have to click each one and on and off and all that. But use your filters. I suggest if you have a MIDI controller, you set it to your rotary knob, close your eyes after you inject the filter and twist it and find out where it really cuts off the sound. And that way you'll filter out, you're filtering with your ears and not your eyes, like you should do with your EQ bands and all that same situation. That way you can physically mix it instead of mixing with your mouse. Okay, I believe that's it right there. Now let's flip back over to 6, and I'm gonna let y'all hear some music. Y'all almost 4 minutes in. Here we go. We're gonna let you listen to a piece of it. Alright, and so we'll continue on the next listening part. So what I'm going to do now is we'll go over to 6, to 5 right quick. We'll solo the vocal bus first, solo the 2 vocals in the bus. Like I said one time before, that's how you get your audio through it. So now we only going to be listening to the vocals. First, we'll listen to it without. With it. Now let's take the effect off. But I actually programmed it, like once again, to my Akai controller. So I have control of my knobs. If you look here at my balance knob, my distortion type, and the speed and compression, pre-delay, which is on the reverbs, Okay, so let's bust it open and see what we got going here. We got some saturation. We got some. This is very cool right here. I did this. I gotta explain that, but I'm gonna go into it first. I'll let you see it first. All right. This is another effect compressor like I use all the time, just to modulate. What did it modulate? Oh, the saturation again. So, what we got going here is actually we're splitting these vocals. Oh, I'm sorry about that. What you do is you're sending one vocal in. This is your main vocal. You're splitting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. There's a vocal exciter on the end right here, which is where my chop, my ad-libby sound is coming from. It's choppy ad-lib sound. And so, you know, we're doing a lot of panning, see, to make it wider. Those are panned full. Then you got a little panning here, and that's straight up the middle to just give it that effect on top of the middle one. Just to widen the vocals up, like I said. We got some reverb on one of them, which is this one, which has been EQ'd. And I'm going to let you hear it with it without. Go up to the top. Now this is just the vocal by itself. This is with them. Without them. What you hear, the effects without the main vocal. Main vocal back in. Here's your balance. Now it's pretty much equal. Trying to get some flow, you know, for sure, but that's how I go. It's simple situation. So you see how that works. Now we're gonna down these. Alright, that's the last compressor coming off. We're gonna strictly focus on this one. Well, we'll just focus on this one. Check this one out. You would think, what is it doing? But check it out when I add the vocal with it. Play it. It's kind of like giving it that little where you miss a couple words in your ad lib and you just punctuate certain words. This is how we're doing that. We're running out of the pan in, so as you see right here. And that's what we got to set on in case you want to do the exact same thing I did right there. That's all I did to it. And synced it. And so it gave it that kind of, and you can control, of course, the rate of which you're coming in and out, and you can create like this perfect harmony where it's like you just wanna do, if you see what I'm saying, because that's kind of what it's doing right there. And it's also running through the distortion right here, which I tweaked just a little bit. You also have a button that will cut, as you see, the body and the cutoff at the same time. You got a rotary to change this here. I had it on tape originally. You have a rotary that will change these counterclockwise, as you see here. That's your third rotary. And your buttons, just this your first button. As you won't see anything happen because it's already what it does, which is solo that. Second button. What the? That's my song. So what the what? Alright. Oh yeah, we gotta take the first one off. Then do the second one. And it won't override them, so we have to do it that way. And that's what it does. Alright, third button changes your reverb to, as you see right here, okay, it's from a room to an algorithm to a arena. I'm sorry about that. And we have our pre-delay, as you see, it's your fourth rotary. So regardless of which one you're on, you'll be controlling your pre-delay, which just kind of gives you a way to kind of quickly affect the track. I appreciate you for checking me out. Cold Heart is Alive. We're almost through, y'all. I'm sorry about it. It's taking so long. Alright, now let's get back over to the mixer and let's find that instrument solo with. First, we'll just mute the buses instead of solo and everything. We'll mute the drums and we'll mute the vocal bus. And we'll find that, which is here. And we'll solo that. Alright, let's see. Make sure we get sound. No, that's not the right item. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's the staccato bass beside it. And you see what's happening here a little bit. Changing that a little bit. But I advise you to try this sometimes. Take an instrument, throw it into the Neptune. Go ahead and play your lines if you want to before. Then throw it in the Neptune and just go through the scales and the majors and the minors and all that. And you might find something that totally changes the key that you played in. And it will be, it's like, I don't know how to play C, so I'll find a C major and I just hit whatever I hit on the keyboard, it will take it over to C major. So it's a way of cheating. And what I'll do is actually I'll play it and then I'll put it in Neptune and I'll change it until it sounds the same, or I see that it's not pitch correcting at all. Then I'll know to scale them in. It's like cheating in a way. I appreciate you, Cold Heart is Alive. Rate and subscribe. Second time I done said that. I'm doing this on purpose. I'm just messing with y'all. Because we're going into 12 minutes on this, and that's what we're doing. Over here on the kick, we're working with that. That's what's creating that such punchy kick sound. Let's go back to 5 and solo our drum bus. Here we're trying to get a lot done in a short time. Solo the drum bus. And where is that? There's your kick. No, that's... Alright. Let's go back to 6. Let's hear that kick. Alright, now when we take it out of that, we got something else coming through. I'm sorry about that. Hold on. Okay, we still had that solo. Oh, man. I apologize. Yeah, that's your boy. Okay, now, that's without it. That's with it. And that's what it's actually doing. You see, we're kind of controlling the volume. That's the only thing being modulated by the compressor. We just running through these right quick. Now let's get on the snare. Let's take those both off. And that's what it originally is. Add that. This is some sizzle compressed. I'll break that one up before you, let you check it out. There's a lot going on in that. We don't have time to break it down now. Over here, there's a lot going on. All caused by a pulverizer. Once again, we have all those set up. I appreciate your third time, Cold Heart is Alive. Rate and subscribe. If y'all don't hear from me in a hot minute, it's a little business I have to run and taken care of. But if y'all do hear from me soon, then it's much love in the world. All right, appreciate y'all.